Hey everyone, today we are going to go through 5 awesome Excel tricks that will save you time and save your sanity. Now, some of these tricks might teach you something new, some might just show you a quicker, less frustrating way of doing something that you can already do. Either way, I know these tips will really help you. There might be more than 5 nuggets of awesomeness here, so I suggest you grab a pen and a piece of paper and then just jot things down as we go. Alright, let's do this. You can zoom around in a data set by using the keyboard shortcut Control and an arrow key. So as you can see here, when I press Control right arrow, the cursor moves all the way across to column O. When I press Control left, it shoots all the way back. Control down takes me to the bottom. Control right all the way to the right. It goes until it hits the end of the workbook or an empty cell. So you'll see it stops at O15. And then I press it a few more times and it goes all the way to the top. Now also, if I use a keyboard shortcut Control Shift arrow, it will select the cells. So I'm still here in 07. If I press Control Shift left, it selects the range all the way to the left hand side of the data set. Similarly, I can select a whole range of values by moving the cursor here to say C15, then pressing Control Shift right, Control Shift down. Now let's use this method to very quickly apply some formatting. I'll format the top, format this, whoops, there you go, the total column, and then I'll just format all of these total rows, and then I'll fix these decimals. There we go. Now this is also an easy way to move around large data sets, especially when there are thousands of rows that you don't want to scroll through manually. Now, if we look at this data set over here, I can immediately see that there are more than 7,000 rows. And of course, I'm navigating around it using Control down, Control up. To copy and paste this range to a new worksheet, it would take ages to select the whole thing using the mouse. Instead, we just go to the top left-hand corner, press Control Shift right, Control Shift down, and then I can go Control C to copy that range. To format cells, let's select the top few values and go Control Shift down and apply 2 decimals. But now we can see a lot of the columns are too narrow, so again I'll go Control Shift right, Control Shift down, and now I can auto fit the column width to that range. To do that, on the Home tab, Format, Auto Fit Column Width. So as you can see, extremely powerful, and with a bit of practice you can become really fast at selecting ranges and navigating around your data set. Okay, now we will take a look at how to redo almost anything with just one keystroke. Now here again we have our profit and loss that we want to apply some formatting to make it look clearer. We want to add some empty rows above and below all of the total rows to make it more understandable. So I'll start off by picking the first total row. I'll right click and go Insert, and I'll select Entire Row. So now Excel knows that is the last action that was performed. Insert row. So if I now navigate down to the next total row, which is gross profit, and press F4, that will redo that last action and insert a new row. So if I now just quickly run through and keep pressing F4, I can keep inserting rows before and after all of the total rows. Whoops, there was an extra one, so I'll just get rid of that one. So as you can see, it was super quick running through the entire set because I just had to do it once and then F4, F4, F4 all the way through to just keep redoing that action. Now this is also really useful for applying formatting. If we apply some bold formatting to our net revenue line, we can also apply a background color. And then for the numbers, maybe if we add a border, So perhaps a top and bottom border. Now I can select this row, Control C, move down to the next total row, paste special, paste formats, OK. And again, now Excel knows this was the last action that was performed, paste formats. So if I scroll down to the next total row and press F4, it will redo paste formatting. So again, super quick and simple to just keep redoing that last step. For tip 3, we'll again look at formatting this profit and loss, but we will use good old Format Painter. Now, you may already be aware that you can select a range, click on Format Painter, and then select where you want to apply that same formatting. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll click onto the range that I want to copy the formatting from. Format Painter. Click on the next total row and that formatting is applied. But what you may not be aware of is that once you select a range and you double click Format Painter, you can apply that formatting more than once. So we can now click on all the rows to apply this formatting without having to go back and click on the Format Painter again. We are going to look at a very quick and easy way to add a cumulative total or a year-to-date running total to the monthly net earnings. To do that, I will select all of the net earnings and then either click on the quick analysis icon that's popped up, or I can press Ctrl Q. Now in the little window that pops up on the Totals tab, we select Running, and that automatically generates the running totals for us. So if we look up in the formula bar, we can see Excel has automatically entered the running total formulas. The first one only summing C39, the next one summing C39 through to D39, and so on. Let's look at a way to select only the visible cells and ignore any hidden rows or columns. Now say we only want to analyze the 3 largest expenses. So we've identified that one, and that one, and we want to hide the rest. So I'll select some of those and go Alt ORH, which is hide row. I'll go to the next one I want to hide, F4 to redo. Select those ones, F4 to redo. And that's all that remains. So now I do all the analysis I want to do. Maybe I will apply some formatting, bold, italics, whatever I need to do there. And then once I've done what I need to do, I go and unhide all of these rows. And we can see that annoyingly, the formatting was applied to all of the hidden rows as well. Now there is a way to avoid this. So let me just undo this mistake. And now I'll show you how to make sure the hidden rows are left untouched. So now we again select the range that we want to work with. But before we go ahead and make any formatting changes, we want to select only the cells that are currently visible by pressing Alt semicolon. So as you can see, it's now broken it up into these 3 discrete selections, only selecting the visible cells. So let's apply our formatting again and unhide. Perfect. And you will see that it was only applied to the visible cells. And there we go. So let's quickly recap. Tip 1 was using Control and the arrow keys to zoom around our data set, or using Control Shift and the arrow keys to select all the way to the end. Tip 2 was to redo whatever the last action was by pressing F4. Tip 3 was double click the Format Painter button to apply formatting more than once. Tip 4 was add a running total easily using the quick analysis tool by selecting your range of values and pressing Ctrl Q. And tip 5, select only the visible cells in a range that also includes some hidden rows and columns by selecting and then pressing Alt semicolon before applying any changes. I really hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, but make sure to hit the bell icon to get notified of any upcoming tips and tricks. One final thing, if you have any questions or you want me to focus on any other specific topics, just let me know in the comments. Thanks guys, see you next time.